And that brings us to chapter 15, which is A Night Together. So Biyu comes running up to Volke, very excited to see him. Everybody is essentially worried about Volke disappearing, so anytime he wanders off alone for a couple hours, they just assume he's run off on his own, which is pretty fair. Karna makes a comment about wanting him to come to bed.
And she said this in the middle of the galley. Like, not anywhere private.
And so she's like, oh yeah, we've slept together a bunch of times.
And I imagine this is where the record scratches as the music stops. Everybody just whipping around like, what? Yeah,
it has a astounding effect. Volke definitely flinches away from her. Atty and Evianna are obviously hurt, and reasonably so after hearing that they've been sleeping together.
I mean, she chose a poor choice of words. I think it was definitely on purpose. There was intent.
There's intention behind it. You don't mess that one up by accident.
Volke, you got to stop playing the whole field when everybody's on the field.
He's learning this firsthand. And as the room is clearing out to let Karna and Volke figure out what is going on, we do get this snippet of conversation between Fain and Adelgis, where Fain essentially just wants all the gossip from Adelgis of what everybody is thinking, so he can hear not just like Karna's reactions, but I want to hear Evianna's thoughts, I want to hear Addie's thoughts. Tell me what's going on.
It's just a big old pot.
It is. It's a huge kettle of tea. Adelgis is swimming laps in it at this point. And we do end off with Karna breaking down into tears. And of the three, Karna is probably the last one I would have taken to break down into tears.
And this is one of those, that whenever she interacts with Volke, she is her true self. She's not pretending, other than like the random times that she's trying to throw him off in somebody else's form. She's truly herself with him. So for her to be crying like this, that's a pretty significant thing. And I think I could have handled Atty or Evianna crying a lot better than Karna crying.
Yeah, especially because, Karna has been through it. So if something is shaking her up, it's not a light banner.
So with that ends chapter 15. With the bestiary being so close to being released and everything like that, we did promise Shamie that we would not disclose anything else until we are told that we can. So I believe after this episode, we will be able to start continuing on the bestiary. I'm going to wait for her official Dominus to let us begin that. So we're just waiting for Shamie to give us the clear, just because previously we did have some recorded for the updated bestiary. Delay in releasing the bestiary, we had to cut it out. So to avoid anything else from happening and having to cut things out, we're just going to wait for her official, everything's been shipped, and most of her Kickstarter people have gotten it, so that way they can have a chance to read it first.
Every time you mention Shamie, I just want to be like, I'm going to pick that name up real quick.
I swear I'm not like...
No, I know you're not doing it. It just feels like friend of the pod. I'm going to pick that name up.
I promise it's more of it's more me like straight fanboying than it is anything else.
I know.
than trying to be like, oh, look at me.
It's just so funny.
Did I mention that? Oh, no. But all right. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube.
before you go to chapter 14, so in the notes, there's a typo. It's supposed to be a glutton for pain, but he's a gluten for pain, which I think is just amazing because he's a little piece of
I'm
bread.
totally going to say it like that.
And I'm like, oh, Zax is his little slice of bread.
He's got a snack pouch, okay?
He does. He does carry around a snack pouch.
All right.